Good morning, Logan.
Good morning, Mr. Coogan. Wow, what a beautiful sight. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
I'm fine. How are you doing, Greg?
I'm doing good too.
Thank you for taking your time out to be here.
Well, thank you for inviting me because this is DSF. I'm Logan. This is Mr. Coogan, the owner of these three beautiful 3 Series.
Yeah.
And
actually,
today we're in for a treat because Mr. Coogan, the owner himself, is going to tell us a little bit about these 3 beautiful BMW 3 Series cars. So without any further ado, why don't we start?
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for taking time off to being with me today.
Very
and
happy
of course, here are my 3 classic BMW collections.
Wow.
Namely the E36, E46 and E90. This is the
Perfect.
E36. I think it ran, BMW ran production of these cars from
92.
92 to 1999.
Wow.
And this is a 1995 model.
Okay.
Somewhere in between the, the upgraded were brought in. So I'm actually the third owner.
Third
So
owner, okay.
what I've done is basically I bought a Racing Dynamics body kit installed.
Racing Dynamics.
Yeah, do you know what Racing Dynamics are?
Not really, no.
They are just like Alpina and BMW M. They're another tuner for BMW models. Yeah, so this is the E36 Racing Dynamics body kit, Racing Dynamics rims. Just changed to tires.
Michelin tires, I see.
Michelin
Wow.
tires, they are around on 17 inches. All 4 new tires, and basically everything is stock standard except for the engine. It's a 318 but converted to inline 6 2-liter.
An inline 6. We're gonna have to take a look at that
Yeah.
later. I also love this color. This is almost like an Alpina exclusive kind of color,
it's a
isn't
very
it?
special color. And
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, the first owner of the car was a chap from the German embassy. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a car that was purchased from Auto Bavaria, then the first importer of BMW cars
Yes.
in Malaysia.
Oh,
So-
this one. No wonder it's in such pristine condition. I
Yeah,
bet
of
you
course.
took a lot of time and
Yeah,
energy, a lot of
it's-
money's got to sink into this, right?
Yep. Tell me about it. A lot of time, money, and love and blood and sweat and
course.
tears have been spent on these cars.
Yep.
This has been fully restored, including the interior as well. So,
Wow.
the leather has been also, the steering has also been leather wrapped. The seats,
Perfect.
everything has been done up.
We're gonna have to take a look at all that later as well.
Yeah, exactly. And after the E36, then comes the legendary E46.
Yes.
Which,
This beauty right
Came
here.
into production in the year 1998,
9?
1999.
Around there?
Yeah.
Until around
2005.
2005, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the last batch of the E46 that was available to the public, to the market in Malaysia. And this is a 2005 model. It's a 325 M Sport 6-cylinder, straight 6.
Straight 6.
With
Look at
the
that.
famous M54 engine that powered most of the
Wow.
cars in that era.
Of that era, yes,
Including
yes.
the E39, one of
Yes,
the
the
best
5 Series.
5 Series BMWs ever made. Yeah,
We're gonna have to look at that later.
Yeah, so everything is all stock standard, including the rims, which is all
Perfect.
still what was available in the showroom with the M Sport package. Exciting car.
Yeah.
A lot more features.
Yes.
Better handling. It has that 6-cylinder
Raw
grunt.
power. Yeah. Oh, yes. That, I bet you that sounds amazing on weekends,
exactly.
right? When you rev it up.
Exactly. So it still has that real pure 6-cylinder power in that
Wonderful.
in this machine.
After all, BMWs are the ultimate driving machine, yes?
Yeah, I mean the 3 Series has always been BMW's sports sedan. So I mean, I love to drive them. I love the handling of these cars are awesome.
Fantastic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it has a very strong following in Malaysia
Of course.
as well in Southeast Asia as well.
Yeah. The E46 is prolific.
Yeah, exactly. Comes after the E46, the next model that came, and it's also the last model that BMW fitted
With
the NE engine.
Before all the
Aspirated,
turbos came
before
around.
The turbos came into the market, into the engines. So this is the E90
Wow.
325, which came into the market from year 2005, and basically it outlived everything else in terms of the packages or the technology from the E36, the E46. This is more refined, more high tech, and basically the last production date for this car was in 2011.
Yeah.
And after that,
2011.
that's when the F30,
Yes.
F30 came about. Yeah. So this is also stock standard. Everything is
Perfect.
Everything is all been well packaged. It has better electronics.
Yes, this is the more tech-packed version
and
of
this is one
all
of
the three.
Yeah, and this is one of the rare cars in that era and that time where you had even keyless entry.
Yes, yeah. BMW pioneered that, if I'm not mistaken,
keyless
right?
entry, start-stop function, and you have the iDrive function. So these were the technology that went into these cars and
Fantastic.
at that time. Yeah, so it's awesome. It's awesome.
So all these are mostly bone stock. The engine has been changed in your E36, but other than that, everything is bone stock, restored. And it does look, all three of them are shining so spectacularly. They look like they all walked out of a showroom today.
Yeah, that goes for the well and care and time and money, and of course it's always maintained by your BMW M specialist.
Okay, perfect.
The person that I go to is M Speed in USJ.
M Speed USJ.
Aming,
keep that in mind, guys.
Aming is a guy that handles and takes care of all my cars.
Shout out to Aming then.
And of course, I used to wash these cars by myself, my own bare hands. But of course, with recent, work commitments,
you
and
must
all
be
that,
busy,
so
right?
I've outsourced this to also to a special groomer, where I take them and I get it washed and cleaned, and it's all been well maintained.
Well, when you have classic, beautiful BMs like this, you need to take special care of them. You have to take them to specific guys. You can't trust just anyone, right? You don't want scratches on babies like this.
Exactly. Well, these cars are, I don't use them on an everyday basis. They are my weekend cars.
I see.
So hence, it's also less wear and tear on these cars as well. But other than that, I love to drive them.
Yes.
You got to keep running them.
Exactly.
You got to keep maintaining them.
It's a BMW. Basic. It's meant to be driven.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these cars, of course, everybody says, the typical banyak masuk workshop, stands for BMW.
Yeah.
So all BMW owners.
But if you take care of it, I'm pretty sure it's fine, right?
I've never had any serious issues when it's time to do the proper maintenance with these cars. You gotta maintain them.
Exactly.
Good professional specialist.
You like the car, you treat it well, it treats you well in return.
It works similarly with the Proton. It works similarly with any other car, any other brand. Maintenance and proper care and following the service maintenance schedule is very, very important.
Well,
other than that, these cars are meant to last you for a lifetime.
You heard it here first, guys, on DSF. Take care of your car will work fine. So thank you very much for these brief intros to all your cars. Now, I think we can take an in-depth look at each of them. What do you say, Mr. Kugan?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Dying to find out.
Okay, so we are back here with the E36 with Mr. Kugan, the owner. So now, let's take a quick look inside the car since we've already taken a quick look outside. What say you?
Yes, Logan, I'm sure you're dying to find out.
I am.
What has been done?
I would love to see what's going on in here.
In terms of restoration, so welcome to the interior of an E36. It's still a work in progress. But
that looks fantastic.
What needs to be done primarily on the seats have been done. The seats have been fully restored. Steering has been fully wrapped, leather wrapped. And I've got, since the engine conversion has been done, I've got now an OBD as well.
Wow.
Which was never there in the first place. So everything has been done up. I've got a missing stereo, which I've purchased, and this is the thing that I've got to do next. So it's a work in progress that will keep me busy as we, get the car
up and running,
and getting all the final refinements and
So would you consider this your project car then?
Yeah, all these three cars are typically my project cars.
Okay.
And each time I've got to work on something, then a lot of research will go into finding out more information and sourcing for the right parts. So that's how...
Well, that's half the fun of it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Keeps me busy, keeps me on my toes.
Very good, very good. Yeah. I'd also like to point out this leather. It feels new. It feels brand new. The car looks like it could have just come out of the showroom again today.
Yeah. Of course, it takes a lot of time and effort and care to, keep it in such pristine condition as well. Everything is just mechanical and manual. And that's where you get to feel the real heritage of racing, the racing heritage of these cars.
Yeah. And that's just something you don't get in modern cars, do you? That old mechanical analog feeling. So this, definitely anybody who loves that old school feel, they would appreciate this interior very much.
And it's also very hard to get, it's very hard to find such good condition E36 these days.
Yes, it is. So that should just about sum up the E36. Stay tuned, we're moving on to the next car. Okay, so now let's take a look at this, the E46.
Well, Logan, get into the E46. Now, as you can see here,
M Sport seal right here some more. Oh, this feels nice.
yeah, still it comes with the M Sport seat package.
These are very comfortable too.
Yeah, and it's got a much more ergonomic styling in terms of the interior. Everything has all been fully refined. You got all the controls which you never had in E36 now.
Yes.
It is here on the E46.
Multifunction steering wheel. Was still new back then.
Yeah, so and the full M Sport package, BMW 325 exclusive. It has a BMW business stereo system. Of course, these were the days where
cassette tapes.
Cassette.
Yeah.
Cassette. Of course, some of the other markets had CD players.
Yeah, but Malaysia was a bit more old school. Yeah.
So you could still get them from eBay. You can still
Of
sell
course.
them. But of course, these were the days where you even had auto headlight and auto wipers. So,
you've also got this carbon fiber looking trim here.
fiber. So this is the M Sport, the original M Sport.
M Sport, wow.
Package. It comes with the M Sport package.
You weren't kidding when you said fully stock, huh?
Yeah, it's all still stock and standard as per what you get when you drive it from the
Showroom back then.
So everything is all been and the feel of the steering is very much you can feel when you're actually driving on the road.
It gives you good feedback.
It gives you feel connected to the road.
Wonderful.
So
you don't get that in a lot of cars these days, they feel so light, you don't really feel what's happening on the road.
Yeah, so that is something that is pure. It's really pure.
Ultimate driving machine. You need to be able to drive it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And everything is also accessible with all the with all the space and the
it's very smart. It makes sense. Plus, it's a good balance between modern and retro because you still have your parking handbrake here. You still have a nice chunky gear selector as opposed to a switch.
And a lot of electronics came into place. Even the seats are electronic.
The seats are electronically adjustable.
So this is the era where things have gone into electrification as well.
It's when it started.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the E46. And,
fantastic.
The next model that we are going to go and check out is the E90.
Let's not waste any more time. I'm excited to see that. Okay, let's go. Oh, that's a very solid close.
Still feels
strong, yes. And here the E90.
So this is the E90, Logan. So
all right, I'm excited. Okay, and now we have the brown leather already, yeah?
Yeah, so this has got the I've got a more exciting trimming where I think BMW Malaysia packaged them for owners to switch between. They had color options.
Yes.
So as you can see here, it has got a total different interior design.
You've got
your
digital
electronics that come into place. Now we've got the iDrive system, start stop. You got the iDrive. So this was the era where the iDrive was introduced in the BMW models, all the range of cars.
And if I'm not mistaken, BMW did pioneer the iDrive thing, right? After that, only everybody started adding in these kind of rotary wheels and touchpads in their luxury cars.
Exactly.
BMW started it. You heard it here first.
Yeah, and a lot more gadgets to play with.
Of course.
Bells and whistles and the 325 M Sport E90, which includes pedal shifters, auto cruise, auto headlights, auto dimming, auto wipers.
And a multi-info display there.
Multi-info display, dual aircon. Yeah, so...
This is nice. I also like the fact that they put the cup holders here.
Yeah.
So you just press it in. Oh.
Yep.
And so, as you can see here, this was a lot more useful, right? Because especially like to clear up more space in the center console rather than having like two big cup holders where your elbows are always going to hit. Having it here is a lot more convenient. You can just reach, take a sip of your coffee or Coke or whatever, and then neatly store it away when you don't need it.
Yes, exactly. So I think the cockpit design is a lot more
streamlined. Yeah, it looks nicer as well.
Exactly.
So, looks more modern.
Well, driving one of these cars is fantastic. You still get the raw power of the 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
It's
really
tough to
awesome.
beat BMW straight six. There's not many engines that can compete.
Exactly. It's one of the best engines they've produced, of course, back then, before the turbos were
Before the
introduced
turbos were
in
introduced,
the
yeah.
F30 BMW.
So in a way, this car is actually one of the last greats of the 3 Series, because this was before the turbos came in, right?
This is the last batch of NAs
yeah.
that BMW produced in their 3 Series, and predominantly the 3 Series is one of their bread and butter
Of course,
models.
yeah.
It's sold quite in a large, massive volume as well.
It's
many
very
parts of the world.
desirable in many markets. A lot of people want a 3 Series.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one of the entry models. Of
Yep.
course, then later they expanded the product portfolio and they included the 1 Series and 2 Series.
Yes.
So that will give a lot more
Availability. Yeah, it's become a lot more
exactly.
uh,
For the
easy
younger
to
market,
own. Yeah, for younger
the
generations
audience to
especially.
step into the BMW world.
Correct. So from it used to be you'd start with a 3 Series, then you move to the 5 and whatnot. Nowadays it's more like you can start with the 1 Series, you can start with the 2 Series,
Yes.
then you move up to the 3, then you move up to the 5.
Yes.
So BMW has made it a lot more accessible to join the BMW family now.
Yes, indeed, and hence thanks to this, and BMW is the #1 premium brand right now in
Yes.
Malaysia for the last 3 consecutive years.
And rightly so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Thanks to this extensive product lineup.
Yes. So there you have it, guys. We've had 3 generations of 3 Series right here. We saw all the way from BMW's original analog days to a somewhat in between in the E46 to their more modern layout, which basically laid the foundation. This is still pretty much the bones of what the new G30s, G20 generation BMWs follow. Even to this day, they still have the same design language, mostly. So thank you very much, Mr. Kugan, once again for showing us the inside of your wonderful cars. And now we're going to go to the part that I think everybody, myself included, is most excited to see, the engines.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so here we have the engine bay of your E90. So why don't you just walk us around what's happening here?
Okay, Logan, this is the last batch of the NA, the natural aspirated engines that BMW produced.
Yes.
This is the N52 engine. They had a few series of engines in different markets, but for Malaysia it's the N52.
Correct.
It comes with a 218 horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's enough power to really muddle through heavy traffic, even curling down the highway, the North-South highway.
Yes.
Enough. It's so wonderful. It's so quiet to drive. So this is a beautiful engine. So as you can see, it's fitted very well. It basically covers the entire.
Yep.
And this is the heart of the car, right?
Yes.
Here, the engine.
This is the heart of any BMW. Their inline 6.
And this was a generation where BMW had a 20,000 interval service, but of course they had few challenges in operating these service intervals in the Malaysian market. Of course, with our weather.
Yeah.
So to most of the owners who had these cars, I think they were servicing their cars at 10,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't use these cars much, but I make it a point to change the oil every year.
Every year. All right, and this time around we are with the E46, the most prolific, the most famous generation of 3 Series. Why don't you tell us what's going on in here, sir?
Yeah, Logan, the word is right. This is the legendary M54 engine, 2.5 liter, 190 horsepower, 245 Newton meters of torque. This was the engine that powered most of the models, BMW models of that generation.
And at that time, 245 Newton meters of torque. That was massive.
Kick ass.
Yeah. This could take anything on the road.
Yeah. This is great. This is pure breed engine, adequate enough to power a sports sedan. You can basically maneuver out of overtaking a trailer just like that with instant power. The power is very instantaneous.
And it's smooth.
It's basically one of the most reliable engines ever made by BMW.
Correct. This is to this day. A lot of people swap this engine into their newer model BMWs.
Exactly. Even the legendary E39 had a similar power.
Similar engine. Yeah,
This is one of the best engines I would say BMW has ever produced.
Correct. I would have to agree. This is also one of the best that I think in terms of any six-cylinder engine, not just as far as BMW goes.
Exactly.
So now that we've already discussed the king of engines here, let's move on to the engine that preceded it, the E36.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now this one was old school.
All right. Oh, this has that traditional one. Okay. But you still get power struts here.
Yeah.
All right. So here we are with the E36, the one that started it all, as far as these three generations go at least. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this engine now?
Okay, Logan, this is actually a stock standard 318i. And, well, they say nothing beats the straight six.
Exactly.
So I sourced for a six-cylinder, and one of the engines that was fitted in the E36 in other markets were the M52 B20.
Yes.
So I managed to get one. This is actually a engine that I sourced from Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, so it comes with 150 horsepower and 180 Newton meters of torque.
That's fantastic.
For engine of this performance, for a car of this size, it's pretty decent.
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Definitely no problems on the highway. Can easily go up Genting.
Yeah. Cruising is sheer smoothness.
It's pleasure.
So the best part of this is it has the sound of a straight six.
Oh yes. Oh, that must sound so good in there.
Exactly. Of course, the car is also fitted with the AC6 exhaust system.
Oh.
So I get the additional
that extra grunt. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I ported it. Spent almost about 10 grand on this.
Wow.
Got it done by a BMW specialist who specializes in changing engines.
Okay.
So yeah, that has been done, and I've been using this car for the last 5 years and maintaining it regularly at my BMW specialist at USJ. So there you are. So all the cars are straight sixes. I think the BMWs have produced fantastic
inline six engines.
Inline six engines, and they are well known for their performance, reliability, endurance, and of course maintenance.
Of course. And I would even wager that despite BMW being known for an array of different engines, V12s, V10s, V8s, and everything in between, I'd still say that their straight six is one of the best things they've ever made.
They are legendary straight sixes.
Exactly. You can't beat a BMW straight six.
Of course. And then over the years, of course, they had fusion dynamics thrown in several of these cars.
Yep.
I think it's an awesome technology, refinements, and driving dynamics as well.
All right. Okay, so there you have it, guys. We've seen the E46, we've seen the E90, and we've seen the engine swap E36. So what do you guys think about these fantastic cars? Because personally, if I could afford all three, I would swoop them up myself right now. But there you have it once again. Thank you so much, Mr. Coogan, for showing us your beautiful cars, for showing us all these engines. This is my favorite by far. And I'm not just saying that because it was, swapped. But this engine itself, it started a lot of hype. It started generating a lot of brand awareness, a lot of... it started showing off BMW's prowess in a way. So despite that being, the E46 being one of the most famous BMWs, this engine is what really propelled the brand up. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching DSF. We hope you enjoyed. And stay tuned to find out more about these beauties.